We're diving deep into the top 5 rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered. Could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's right, some of these tiny copper coins hide incredible secrets that could change your life. Coins the collectors dream about. So grab your change jar. This is the story of one of the most mysterious and valuable coins, the 1964 SMS Lincoln Penny, a coin so rare, so shrouded in secrecy, that even professional collectors didn't know it existed for decades. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one, why it's so special, and exactly how much it could be worth today. The background. Let's start with the question everyone asks. What exactly is the 1964 SMS Lincoln Penny, and why does it exist? To understand that, we have to go back to the early 1960s. A time of major transition at the U.S. Mint. The Mint was facing a massive coin shortage. Then came 1964, the last year before the Mint would remove silver from U.S. coins. It was also the year before they introduced new special mint sets, or SMS coins. What makes the 1964 SMS penny so special? Now, let's talk about what makes this coin truly unique, and how you can identify one if you ever come across it. The finish. The surface of the 1964 SMS penny is satin-like, smoother than a regular circulation coin, but not as mirror-like as a proof. It reflects light softly, giving it a slightly matte sheen. The strike. Every detail on Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial is razor-sharp. The rims are squared, and the design is crisp and well-defined, far better than any standard 1964 penny. The die marks. One key feature collectors look for is a distinctive die polish line near Lincoln's shoulder, and on the reverse near the memorial steps. These are signs of specially prepared dies. The lack of mint mark. Like most 1964 pennies, the SMS version carries no mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. The overall appearance. It looks fresh, even decades later, as if it was struck yesterday. There's a precision and sharpness that immediately stands out when compared to ordinary coins. When you hold it under light, you can see the care that went into making it. This wasn't just a random coin off a mass production press. This was a coin crafted for excellence. Auction sales price and value. Here's where things get truly exciting. The value of the 1964 SMS Lincoln Penny. Because of its rarity and mysterious origin, these coins have fetched staggering prices at major auctions. Let's look at a few examples. In 2005, one 1964 SMS Lincoln Penny graded SP6 8RD by PCGS sold for $14,950. A few years later, another example in SP67 condition brought in nearly $20,000. Then in 2019, a pristine 1964 SMS penny in near-perfect SP68 red sold for an incredible $1,050 at a heritage auction. That's more than the price of a brand new car for a single penny. But the story doesn't stop there. Some numismatic experts estimate that if a perfect SP69 or SP70 example were ever discovered, it could easily reach $40,000 to $50,000, or possibly even over $1 million. Given the coin's legendary status and ultra-low mintage. Just think about that for a moment, a single 1964 penny, worth more than a luxury home. The 1968 Error Lincoln Penny, a coin most people overlook as ordinary, hides some of the most shocking and valuable minting errors in U.S. history. From double dies and off-metal strikes to rare proof-like errors, this coin has stunned collectors and broken auction records. This is one story you'll want to hear all the way through, because the next lucky discovery could be in your hands right now. The background. To truly understand the 1968 Error pennies, we need to go back in time to an era of transition and change at the U.S. Mint. It was 1968. Just 3 years after the Mint stopped making silver coins for everyday circulation. America was shifting to new metal compositions, copper, nickel, and zinc, and the mints were modernizing their equipment to meet booming demand. What makes the 1968 penny so special? At first glance, the 1968 Lincoln Penny looks like any other coin, a small copper disc with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes some of these coins special is what happened during their creation. The dies used to strike them, the metal molds that stamp the design, sometimes shifted, cracked, or doubled during production. And when that happened, it produced error coins that are now among the most sought after Lincoln cents in existence. Let's break down what makes this coin stand out. The D mint mark. The 1968 D pennies were struck in Denver, and that tiny letter D below the date can be a clue. Some of the rarest errors involve this mint mark being repunched, doubled, or misplaced. The metal composition. These coins were struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. But a few rare examples were mistakenly struck on foreign plankets or transitional metals, instantly making them worth thousands or more. The era. 1968 was also the year when proof coin production resumed, meaning some Denver dies were prepared with unusually sharp details or proof-like finishes, creating visually stunning errors. Auction sales price and value over the years. The 1968D error pennies have sold for stunning prices at major auctions. Here are a few real-world examples that prove just how valuable these small copper coins can be. Double die obverse in PCGS MS66 red sold for $4,560 at heritage auctions. Off-metal strike on a dime planchet sold for over $30,000. Full red mint error penny with die break fetched nearly $7,000. A near-perfect 1968 D penny graded MS67 red with minor errors was valued around $8,500, and experts believe that if a major, undiscovered double die or off-metal variety were to appear, it could easily fetch six figures or even cross the $1 million mark. The 1969 S Lincoln Penny has stunned the world with errors so dramatic, so rare, that collectors have paid hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million, just to own one. Imagine digging through your old change jar, spotting a 1969 penny, and realizing you're holding one of the most valuable coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. How to tell if you're sitting on a six or even seven-figure coin. The background. Let's rewind to 1969, a year of transformation in America. The country was watching the moon landing, the counterculture was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of pennies to meet growing demand. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. But one key detail set some of these coins apart: the mint mark S, coin struck in San Francisco. What makes the 1969 S penny so special? So what exactly makes the 1969S double die obverse penny so legendary? Let's break it down. The dramatic doubling. Unlike minor double dies where you need magnification, the doubling on this coin is massive and visible to the naked eye. You'll see clear, strong doubling on. The letters look almost shadowed or duplicated, like they were printed twice. Auction sales price and values. Now here's where the story takes your breath away. The auction values of these legendary pennies. In 1995, one 1969S double die obverse penny sold for $24,150, an early record. In 2008, another example graded MS64 red by PCGS fetched $120,500. In 2018, a PCGS MS6 for our D example sold at heritage auctions for a jaw-dropping $126,000. Then in 2020, a specimen in MS65 red brought in a staggering $126,500, again showing consistent high demand. But the record breaker came when an ultra-high-grade 1969S double die penny sold for nearly $200,000 at public auction, and that's not the ceiling. Experts believe that if a perfect MS66 or MS67 red example were to surface a coin untouched, blazing red, with flawless doubling, it could bring $70,000 to $1 million or more. That's right, a single penny, worth a fortune. How to identify the genuine 1969S double die? If you think you found a 1969S double die obverse, here's what to look for. Check the obverse front doubling. The doubling should be bold and visible, especially on the word Liberty, the date 1969. The doubling is clear and spread apart, not blurry or mushy. Check the mint mark S. The S mint mark must not be doubled. Remember, it was hand-punched after the doubling happened, so if your S is doubled, it's a fake. Examine under light. Authentic examples show sharp, even doubling under magnification, not mechanical or flat doubling caused by die vibration. Get it authenticated. If your coin looks right, don't clean it, don't even rub it. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. Even a low-grade genuine example can sell for $10,000 to $20,000, while high-grade specimens soar well into six figures. In this video, we're diving deep into the rare 1976 Error Lincoln Penny, its hidden history, how it slipped out of the mint, what errors to look for, and which ones are worth a fortune. Because one of these errors sold for a price that will make your jaw drop, and who knows, you might already have one sitting in an old jar of coins. Let's find out if that tiny 1976 penny could make you a millionaire. The background, before we reveal the big money errors. Let's step back to 1976, a year of massive celebration in the United States. It was the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Reverse, the Lincoln Memorial. Designed by Frank Gasparo, composition 95% copper, 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. Mint mark struck in Philadelphia. No mint mark, the most valuable errors and varieties, off-metal strikes. $5,000 to $15,000, struck on a foreign planchette. $10,000 to $25,000, clipped planchette errors. $20,000 to $30,000, wrong planchette errors. $3,000 to $5,000. Auction sales price and values. Let's look at real-world auction results that prove how valuable these coins can be. Struck on a dime planchette sold for $12,650 at Heritage Auctions. Off-center strike 50% off-center, full date sold for $3,600. Double die obverse MS65 red sold for $14,500. Planchette experimental rumored private sale near $100,000. These incredible results show just how wild the market can get for the rarest 1976 pennies, and remember, these are real sales. So if you've got a 1976 coin with something unusual about it, you might be holding a hidden treasure. How to identify and protect a 1976 error penny. If you think you found a rare 1976 error penny, here's what to do. Inspect carefully. Use a 10x magnifying glass to check for doubling, misalignment, missing sections, or odd colors. Weights. Weigh it. A normal copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs less, around 2.3 grams, it may be struck on a dime or foreign planchette. Never clean it. Cleaning destroys the surface and can reduce the coin's value by 90% or more. Get it authenticated. Send your coin to PCGS, NGC, or NX for professional grading. A certified holder proves authenticity and skyrockets resale value. Final thoughts. So the next time you spot a 1976 Lincoln penny, don't overlook it, because beneath that dull copper surface might be a once-in-a-lifetime error worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars, from dramatic double strikes to off-metal rarities. The 1976 Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprises. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and overlooked treasures in American coin history, the 1978 Error Lincoln penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your pennies more carefully than ever before. That small copper coin sitting in an old jar or tucked away in a drawer could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. You might think that's impossible, but in the fascinating world of rare coins, let's start by setting the scene. It's 1978, the U.S. Mint is producing billions of Lincoln cents, more than 5.5 billion, to be exact, across its facilities in Philadelphia. Now, before we talk about the big money coins, let's talk about what makes a penny from 1978 special. Most of these coins were made from a bronze composition, 95% copper, and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. This was before the big change in 1982, when the mint switched to copper-plated zinc coins. Because of that, the 1978 penny already carries a bit of nostalgia. But when errors occur on this solid copper planchette, they stand out dramatically, and that's where the magic begins. The first type of valuable 1978 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being struck by the dies, but slightly misaligned. Part of the design is missing, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable it becomes. A lightly off-center 1978 penny might sell for $5,000 to $6,000, but if the strike is dramatically off, say 50% or more, and still shows the full date and mint mark, collectors can pay up to $1,000 or more. In pristine condition, some have even topped $1,000 at auction. But off-center strikes are just the beginning. Another highly desirable variety is the double die error, where the coin's design elements are doubled due to a slight misalignment during the hubbing process. On the 1978 dip penny, these doubled features can appear on Lincoln's date. The word "the doubling" can be bold and easy to spot, or subtle and visible only under magnification. Either way, these coins have fetched serious money. A clear 1978 D double die obverse penny can sell for $2,500 to $3,000, depending on its clarity and condition. Some exceptional examples graded MS67 red have even approached the $10,000 mark. Beyond the major errors, condition plays a massive role in determining value. A regular 1978 dip penny in circulation might only be worth 1 cent. But an uncirculated example graded MS66 or higher can already bring in $4,000 to $8,000, but once you hit MS67 red, things take off dramatically. These are the coins with brilliant luster, flawless surfaces, and razor-sharp details. PCGs and NGC have graded only a handful of such high-end specimens, and some have sold for over $2,000. The finest known examples, nearly perfect MS68 reds, are practically museum quality, and prices have reached as high as $7,000 or more in top auctions.